It's now time to introduce our Toastmaster this morning. Before doing so, I wish to tell you a little bit about herself. Whenever she gives a speech, unicorns and rainbows appear. Take my word for this. She once gave a speech over 7 minutes, 30 seconds, but only once, and only because she wanted to know what it felt like. She spoke the final round of a world champion speech contest, the speech title being Disarming Roadside Bombs in the Helmand province of Afghanistan. Very few people know that she can give Spanish speeches in Cantonese. And last but not least, she is the author of the New York Times bestseller list book, Becoming a Distinguished Accounter for Dummies. I introduce my dear friend, Laura Heinz.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. It's not true, any of it. Fellow Toastmasters, welcome to the District 4 Leadership Celebration. Each year, we gather to recognize the outstanding achievements of clubs and individuals throughout the district. This year, we'll stand unique as an event celebrating a 100% online year in Toastmasters, a year of challenges, solutions, learning, new techniques, sharing knowledge, improvising, and success made possible by all of you. We called on our leaders and members to carry us through these difficult times, and they answered, "We can do better than that." This year has seen improvements in communicating, meeting, event, and content planning that will stay with us long after we begin to meet in person. Will we ever show up to a contest without a pre-planning meeting? Will we ever show up with a ream of certifications to be signed before the briefing? This year, members, clubs, and leaders stretched themselves further than ever to carry on our traditions and raise them to a new level of excellence. Today, we formally honor all achievements, celebrate with laughter as we roast our outgoing district leader, and pass the torch to our new top 4. I'm honored to be your Toastmaster today. Help me welcome and thank the volunteers for today's event. Mike Fidel, Sergeant at Arms. Ken Colley, Graphics, Slides, and Program. Kitsy Avalos, Roastmaster. Ellen Petrill, Timer. Jacob Alfaro, Tech Chair. Dee Chang, Tech Co-Chair. Let's begin. Welcome to the recognition section of our program. To present program quality recognitions, here is Outgoing Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Tim Carlisle.
Thank you so much, Laura. The first people I want to thank this year are my Pathways Chair, Distinguished Toastmaster Catherine Pratt, who is also a past District Director, as well as Distinguished Toastmaster Aubrey Carrier, past District Director, who was our Legacy DTM Chair. Our club officer training broke records this year. We increased over 14% from the previous year, and the training coordinators were a big part of that. For Division A, Alex Kalinin, Division B, Denise Singh, Division C, Rizwana Raman, Division D, Greg Athos, Division E, Mayor Repetto, and Division F, Mark Prince. Next slide. We did a record-setting 33 webinars this year. We were able to capture every single training event from our Toastmasters Leadership Institutes, thanks to the being virtual. And we did quite a number of other webinars. I'll just quickly run through the names. We had International President-elect Margaret Page with Jen Wong, Dennis Chase with Megan Smith, Tony Siccardi and Sarah Kibble with Beatrice Carreau. 2 webinars on Zoom by Jacob Alfaro, 1 on setting up Zoom securely by Anat Karen. Brittany Miller with Kat Gordienko, Distinguished Toastmaster James Ferrer with Varun Kishal, Sarah Kibble with David Wu, Ray Engen with Trina Getchell. Next slide, please. Ken Colley with Salvador Tovar, Tim Carlisle with Jennifer Perry-Ruzick, Darren LaCoy with Tim Carlisle, Kitsy Avalos, Aubrey Carrier and Jeffrey Glass, myself, Tara Moriarty with Stephanie Yang, Cody Katula, Rita Barber with Asha Srikumar, Suresh Sugabaman with Siraj Venkitswaran, Kitsy Avalos with Mahi Saraf, Tyree Johnson with Paul Wallace. Next slide, please. Tim Carlisle with Jennifer Perry-Ruzick, Joe Bressler. Jennifer and I did several other webinars. Evening Stars for letting us tape their evaluation workshop. Henry Kruk with Jennifer Perry-Ruzick, Catherine Pratt, Eva Jakes with Stuart Murray with Eva Jakes, Fanta Hadley with Christina Diamore, Babu Ramabhadran with Greg Athos, Susan Swartz with Jen Tan. Next slide, please. Our meeting and webinar tech chairs. These are people that really went all out to bring us as quality meetings via technical expertise. Christina Diamore, Jacob Alfaro, Dee Chang, Mark Prince, Sherwin Rodriguez, Kevin Shea, Anat Karen, Katrina Myers, Denise Singh, Mike Fidel, Katie Kaufman. All of them went way above and way beyond every single event. Next slide. Our district conference team. Can't say enough about our conference chair, Mark Prince. He did a fabulous job. Asha Srikumar did a great job on some wonderful graphics, and we even got him passed by Toastmasters branding, which was awesome. And our speech contest chair, Janet Sotheby. International and Evaluation Contest Toastmasters, Brad Jacob and Joy Fang. Our Chief Judge for International Evaluation, Janice Hom and Robert Tang. Our Sergeant at Arms, John Martos. Timers, Denise Singh and John Gill. And our ballot counters, Pohang Singh, Gretchen Tomats, and Haruko Makitani. Next slide, please. We had a ton of people succeed with our Club Success Awards program, way over what we'd even budgeted. Our Club Success plans, Lucky 7, training all 7 officers twice. Early Achievers and President Club. If you would like to take a look at these clubs and see who achieved these awards, please see page 7 to 10 of your program. Next slide, please. Distinguished clubs. We completed our distinguished club goal this year, and many of the clubs who were distinguished were either distinguished for the first time in quite a while or the first time ever. And I'm going to quickly read their names because I think it's important to recognize every single one. Electric Toasters, Eloquent Elocutionists, Redwood City Orders, San Francisco Bilingual Cantonese English, San Francisco Mandarin English, San Mateo Toastmasters 191, San Francisco Japanese English Toastmasters, SF Toastbusters, Toastmasters Ears, 25 Alive, Varian Toastmasters. Next slide. Our select distinguished clubs, All Ears, AstraZeneca Verbalizers, Guidewire Premium Presenter, Menlo Park Sunset, Move Fast and Say Things, Salesforce BizTech, San Carlos Belmont, San Francisco Downtown, Superspace, and Visa Speakers Circle. All of these clubs achieved 7 or 8 of our distinguished club goals. Congratulations all. Next slide, please. This is where the reading starts. Presidents Distinguished. Each of these clubs achieved 9 or 10 goals, and this is the highest award given to a club. Awesome. BioPacific, Early Risers, Everybody Speaks, First Republic, Foster City, Genentech, Global San Francisco, Golden Gate, G-Toast, Lee Emerson Bassett, Menlo Park, Money Talks, Peninsula, Point of Order, ProMasters, Pucksters, Rainbow, Rhino Business, Ring Central, Salesforce, San Carlos, San Francisco Storytellers, San Francisco Toastmasters, San Mateo Storytellers, Sierra Speakers, Spanish Bilingual, Townsend Toastmasters. Next slide. Pathways Program Awards. We did over 1,050 awards this year, and they're on pages 22 or 12 to 33 of our program. So that should give you a real idea of how many awards were achieved. And I think that's great. And something that we did was we also added in training for the newest Toastmasters by people who only knew Pathways, as well as a drop-in clinic for experienced Toastmasters. Next slide, please. Triple Crown recipients, 80 members achieved this goal, which is on page 33 of your program. And that was for any member achieving 3 Pathways levels. Next slide, please. It looks like that's it for me. Back to you, Laura.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you. To present club growth recognitions, here is Outgoing Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer Perry Ruzick.
Hello, Laura. Our outgoing club growth director, Jennifer Perry Ruzick, has informed me that she won't be able to make it for this event due to a family emergency. So I'll be standing in for her and I'll present her slides. Jacob, could you please advance the slide? Let's start with the club growth team. As a former club growth director, I know how critical having the right people in the right team lead positions is to the district and the initiative that the club growth director does. So Jennifer Perry Ruzick, our club growth director, outgoing club growth director, was assisted by these esteemed Toastmasters. Extension Chair, James Ferrer. New club mentor chair, Rabu Ramabhadran. Club co-chair, Henry Crook. Club renewals chair, Molly Lai. Speech craft chair, Suresh Sugavanam. And club ambassador chair, Tuya Bliss. Next slide, please. Jennifer was also assisted by these Toastmasters when she organized demo meetings for groups which are in the process of putting together a new club. As we know, we put together a demo or a couple of a series of demos for the clubs so that they get a taste of Toastmasters, what a Toastmasters meeting is all about, how it is conducted. and how each one benefits from it and the fun that these meetings bring to you. So you can only imagine the value that these individuals brought to the district. Jay Davidson, Alex Kalinin, Alan Zong, Mark Prince, Elena Kochetkova, Gretchen Thomas, Laura Heinz, Richard Hampson, Molly Lai, Sunita Ramani, Claudia Ashworth, Karen Schaff, Jacob Alfaro, Matt Repeto, Joe Madley, Joe Bressler, Suraj Venkateswaran, Paul Wallace, Megan Smith, Teresa Steen, and Erica Alfaro. Thank you all. Next slide, please. We have had 7 clubs charter over the last Toastmasters year. The final numbers will be known only on July 23rd, when TI completes its data consolidation. But as of now, we know of all these 7 clubs which chartered during the 2020-21 Toastmasters year. The clubs are, in alphabetical order, of course, Beijing Toastmaster, Box Toasters, CCSF Toastmasters, Contentful Toastmasters, Speak Merc SSF, SRP Toastmasters, and Win with IGT. Next slide, please. As we know, when a club road director works with the new clubs and tries to help them charter, we have different roles that we need to fill in. We need individuals to help the club road director. And that is where the sponsors come, who work with the clubs, the groups which are trying to put together a club, understand the chartering process, work with them, help them with the documentation, coordinate with Toastmasters International, and take off some of the load from the club road director. So the new club sponsors were Erica Alfaro, Jennifer Chan, Eileen Chen, Joyce Gandawang, Katie Greenlay, Ying Au, Jennifer Periruzik, Tanya Pole, Catherine Ann Pratt, Riswana Rahman, Lisa Severoli, and Megan Smith. Thank you again. Thank you all. Next slide, please. Once the club charters, the first 6 months for a club is very critical, because this is a group of excited Toastmasters or to-be Toastmasters coming together to put together a club. If you're fortunate enough, you may have some experienced Toastmasters in your midst. If you're not, you may just be a group of excited individuals trying to put together a club. That is where a mentor becomes very critical. The mentor or a couple of mentors that the club gets assigned to helps the club put together the processes, define how a club meetings will look like, define a club template for the agenda. So put together and streamline how the club is going to do its meetings week after week, month after month. And by the time they are done with the 6 months, the clubs are now to go on their own. So all these mentors did a wonderful job helping those clubs. The mentors were Robin Adams, Erica Alfaro, Victor Brown, Cynthia Lino Nakayama, Elena Kochetkova, Babu Ramabhadran, Teresa Steen, Michelle Tang, Gretchen Thomas, Jennifer Periruzik, and Yasmin Yamat. Thank you all. Next slide, please. Club coaches. When a club membership number hits a low around 12, that actually gives us an indication that actually club is on its downward spiral and needs some kind of an assistance, not just to stay floated, but to revive, to grow back to its glory days. So a club coach Being a club coach is one of the hardest jobs to do in the club coach area, because despite of all the hard work, despite of all the hard work put in not just by the club coach, but also by the club, sometimes it takes years for the club to come back. So when the club coach goes in, puts in all the effort, even after 1 year of effort, the results are not always guaranteed. So these folks, the folks who signed in as a coach, they signed in for a role with no guaranteed results, still went in to put in their best and help the club survive. Total appreciation for all these individuals. And the coaches were Houghton Afzali, Tim Carlisle, Aubrey Carrier, James Ferrer, Barbara Jerabov, Haruko Makitani, Katrina Myers, Cynthia Nakayama, and Gavin Wang. Thank you all. Next slide, please. Club ambassadors. These are Toastmasters who visit multiple clubs, make observations, give feedback to the clubs, and bring back those feedback and observations to the club growth director, so that the club growth director can work with that information that they gather and help not just those clubs, but the other clubs as well in the district. So this is an equally important role. The Toastmasters we had in our district who worked as club ambassadors are Jonah Tong, who made 9 visits, Jenan Tan, who made 7 visits, Kevin Shea, who made 4 visits, Cynthia Nakayama, who made 3 visits, and Greg Athos, who made 3 visits. Next slide, please. Now let's move on to the incentives part. There are club success awards, and there are multiple awards. September Sanity, March Madness, and Open House. September Sanity, as the slide shows, is all about renewing the membership by September 15th, 75% of the membership by September 15th to gain that incentive. March Madness is the same thing, but at a different time period in March. Open House, as the slide talks about, you host an open house and bring in new members within a specified time period, and you gain that incentive. You can find information about all the winners on page number 36 and 37 of the program. Next slide, please. Now, this is the time when we announce the mentor of the year. So the club growth director had multiple mentors working with her. With the club, the mentors are assigned by the club growth director, and she had a view of not just the names of the mentors, but also the impact that they had with the clubs. So based on the input she got, Jennifer Perry-Ruzic, our outgoing club growth director, has decided that the award for the mentor of the year goes to, next slide, please. The mentor of the year is Yasmin Yamat. Yasmin, if you are in attendance, could you please turn on your camera? Is Yasmin in attendance? Looks like she's not. All right, let's move on.
I don't see her here, but as a member of her club and good friend, I'll pass word to her. She's going to appreciate this a lot. Thanks for the recognition for Yasmin.
Thank you, Terry, who also happens to be our former club mentor chair. Thank you, Terry. Let's move on to the next slide. I talked to you about the club coach role. And again, there is some criteria that Jennifer looks at as the club growth director. And she has decided that the club coach of the year award goes to, next slide, please. Haruko Makitani. Haruko, are you in attendance? Looks like she's not. So I'll be reaching out to these award winners and they will all be Haruko, nice to see you. Here we go. You're muted, Haruko.
Thank you, Kalidas. But it's a very surprised. Thank you so much. Nice surprise.
Thank you. All right, back to you, Laura.
Thank you, Kalidas. And thank you, Jennifer, for leading us through a wonderful year of club growth. To present public relations recognitions, here is outgoing public relations manager, Joe Bressler.
Again, I step in as a outgoing district director. Joe is somewhere in interior Italy with very less access to email or telephone. And we were not able to get in touch with him. He has trouble reaching out to us too. So we don't have access to the information he was trying to send us. So unfortunately, we don't have anything to present at this point. Once Joe is back in town, he will be reaching out to the specific clubs which won the specific PR awards. Apologize for the inconvenience, but then Joe will be following up with the clubs which won those awards. Thank you. Back to you, Laura.
Thank you, Kalidas. And guess who's next? To present district level recognitions, here is outgoing District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Kalidas Cheroolil.
Finally, I'm here to talk about myself, not just myself, my role as an outgoing district director. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate that. Next slide, please. We had a very unique year, the whole of 2020, and at least starting from March 2020, we had a very, very different year last year. And through June, the year continued and still continues, though things are starting to look better now. So here on the slide, we have the district leadership team for last year. Starting with my colleague, Program Quality Director Tim Carlisle, who is the current district director. Club Growth Director Jennifer Perry-Ruzic, who is the current Program Quality Director. Public Relations Manager Joe Bressler, who is the current Finance Manager. The Finance Manager in my team, Pam Lee, who kept our books so tight that I'm sure our audit will be a breeze. She kept things in line. Thank you, Pam. Our admin manager, Jing Thompson, who was again equally responsible for taking notes and keeping things in good shape. Our logistics manager and incoming division director, Mike Fidel. Webmaster, our past international director and our current webmaster, Ken Colley. Immediate past district director and my good friend, Distinguished Toastmaster Ketsi Evelis. I didn't use the word Distinguished Toastmaster for many of them. I apologize for that. I should have. So this is the team we had leading the district last year. Without them, I wouldn't have survived. Here I am sitting in front of you talking with a smile, which means all of them actually helped me, assisted me to survive a very hard year. Thank you all. Next slide, please. As we see, as is the case with any team, my team had different chairs as experienced Toastmasters, helping me with specific sections of what I had to take care of. So let me start with the District Leadership Committee Chair, Ketsi Evelis, who was responsible for bringing in the candidates, right from inviting the nominations, conducting the interviews, and helping me through the business elections business meeting where the elections took place. Kitsi. Audit Committee Chair, Karsten Mansk, making sure our financial books were all good. Advisory Council Chair, Tony De Leon. I now become, once I retire or become the immediate past district director, I become part of the group of past district directors. And that's the Advisory Council. Last year, we had Tony, the Toastmaster De Leon, chairing it. Proxy Chair, Susan Swope. As we know, during the International Convention, each district is represented by the district director, and he or she votes on behalf of all the clubs in the district. So following up with those clubs and making sure they assign the proxies to the district director is one big task. And our former district governor, distinguished Toastmaster, Susan Swope, helped me with that. Thank you, Susan. Minutes Committee Chair, Joe Madley. Our past district governor, Joe Madley, made sure that the minutes that were taken during the business meeting, past business meeting, were all in good shape. He audited it and confirmed with his team that we are in good shape. Thank you, Joe. And finally, the District Realignment Committee Chair, Andy Jimenez. Every year, as you know, we realign the district. Sometimes clubs which were in a specific area last year move to a different area or a division. We do all those realignments based on the clubs, number of clubs we have, the health of the club, and the area where that belongs or the location of those specific clubs. That actually is a bit of a work. So Andy with his team did that work, and the club realignment, which actually you see on the district website, was his work, his and his team's work. Thank you, Andy. Next slide, please. Now let's move on. I introduced the top 7 of the district and the immediate past district director in an earlier slide. But the district executive committee team also had the division directors and the area directors. We all together led the district, worked for the district. So let me start with the division and area directors. Division A, director was Alex Kalinin. Area A1 director was Anne Hoan Nguyen. Area A2 director was Tashaki Ford. Area A3 director, Kevin Shear. Area A4 director, Mahi Saraf. Now, I have to make a note here. One information missing here. We had area director Nancy Geary for a few months before she had to step down due to some personal reasons. And that is where Tashaki Ford came in. So thank you, Nancy, Tashaki, and all of them from Division A. Moving on to Division B, director was Denise Singh. Division B1 director, Suresh Sugavanam. Area B2 director, Janan Tan. B3 director, Alan Zong. B4 director, Christina Demore. Thank you all, Division B. Next slide, please. Division C, director was Rizwana Rahman. Division C1 director, Vashtai Hais, who replaced Fernando Martinez, who had to again step down due to a family emergency. Area C2 director, James Mulroy. Area C3, Laura Heinz, who replaced Angelina Liang, who again had to step down to some personal reasons. Area C4 director, Sindhuja Godavarti. Area C5 director, Gretchen Thomas. Thank you all from Division C. Division D, director was Greg Athas. Division D1 director, Lily Zhang Chan. Division D2 director, Nicole Medina. Division D3 director, Michelle Tang. D4 director, Nick Fuser. D5 director, Simon Chan. Thank you all from Division D. Next slide, please. Division E, director was Mayor Repeto. Area E1 director, Jacob Alfaro. E2 director, Erica Alfaro, not related to Jacob, just the last name. E3 Director Sarah Miller, E4 Director Angie Song, E5 Director Christian Luciano. Thank you all from Division E. And finally, Division F. Director was Mark Prince, who is our current Club Growth Director. Area F1 Director, Suraj Venkateswaran. Area F2 Director, John Gill. Area F3 Director, Janet Sadabi. And Area F4 Director, Zin Wong. Thank you all from Division F. Next slide, please. Now let's move on to the areas. Earlier, when we were talking about the club growth area, we talked about club incentives, which certain clubs won. But there were also areas and divisions which the area directors worked hard with the clubs and they achieved certain recognitions for their area. The same with the divisions. So let's start with the areas. The following areas became distinguished areas. Area A4, director was Mahi Saraf. Area B2, director was Janan Tan. Area C1 director, Vashtai Hayes. Area D2 director, Nicole Medina. Area F1 director, Suraj Venkateswaran. Area F3 director, Janet Sadabi. And Area F4 director, Zen Wong. Thank you all. Thank you all area directors for your hard work. Now the next level in recognition is the select distinguished areas. The select distinguished areas were Area A1, led by Anne Huan Nguyen. Area A3 director. Area A3, led by Kevin Shear. Area E3, director was Sarah Miller. Area F2, director was John Gill. In Area F4, director was Zin Wong. I think there is a data entry error here because I see Zin Wong's name twice here. Apologize for the mistake on our part. But either way, thank you all the area directors for all the hard work. Let's move on to the next slide, please, Jacob. Distinguished division. We had one club, one division, which achieved the distinguished division recognition, which was Division B, and the director was Denise Singh. And the next level after distinguished is the select distinguished, which was achieved by two divisions. Division A, led by Director Alex Kalinin, and Division F, led by Director Mark Prince. Thank you, Denise, Alex, and Mark. Thank you for your hard work. Next slide, please. Now, this is the time when we recognize all our District 4 members, District 4 Toastmasters, who won the Distinguished Toastmaster recognition after we had our district conference in May 2020. That is last year, remember. So anyone who achieved the recognition will be recognized and honored today. So let's get on with the slides. Jacob? And Jacob, please hold the slide for about 5 to 6 seconds for each Toastmaster so that they can enable their video and briefly show themselves. Let's start the slides. The first name here is Robin Adams, who used to be our admin manager a few years ago. Robin, are you in attendance? Looks like she's not.
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are? Could you please switch on the... Yeah. So as I announce the names, please feel free to turn on your camera. Hello, Robin. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's move on to the next slide, please. Natasha Baker-Stride, who was our finance manager a couple of years ago. Natasha, congratulations. Now, if Natasha and Robin, if you could please switch off your camera so that the incoming person can switch on the camera. Robert Parker was again our finance manager a few years ago. Robert, Nice to see you again. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next slide, please. Our former district director, Aubrey Carrier. Aubrey? Congratulations, Aubrey. Next slide, please. Jennifer Chan. Jennifer, are you in attendance? Looks like she's not. Congratulations, Jennifer. Our district conference international speech winner, who will be representing us in the semifinals of the international contest, Stephen Chen, who was our PR manager a couple of years ago. Stephen Chen. Steve, are you in attendance? Steve couldn't make it today, and Anath says. Anath, please let him know that we are all proud of his achievements at the conference. And please congratulate him on our behalf for the DTM recognition. Moving on, Joe Chu. Joe, are you here? Okay, congratulations, Joe. Moving on, Donna Davis. Donna?
That's Donnie.
Donnie. Hey, and see, this is 1 year can do a lot of things to the memory, Donnie. Congratulations.
It's been a good year.
Yeah, congratulations. Now, by the way, Donnie was area director the previous year. Yeah.
Thank you, Kalidas.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next slide, please. Chase Dixon. Okay, looks like Chase is not here. Congratulations, Chase. Niva Dinwiddie. Niva, are you here?
I'm here.
Hey, Niva, nice to see you after a
Hey,
long time.
Kalidas.
Yeah, congratulations. And
Thank
Niva
you.
again was an area director
Thank
2 years
you.
ago. Yeah. Let's move on to the next slide. Jeffrey Glass. Jeffrey, are you here? Looks like he's not. Congratulations, Jeffrey. Next slide. Elizabeth Hammond. Elizabeth, are you here? No. Okay, congratulations, Elizabeth. Let's move on to the next slide. Casey Huang. Casey is not here. Congratulations, Casey. Cynthia Nakayama. Cynthia, are you here? Looks like she's not. Congratulations, Cynthia. David Kellerman. Congratulations, David. Emmy Koo. Congratulations, Emmy. Henry Crook. Hello, Henry. Nice to see you after a long time. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Very special moment.
Yes, sir. Henry, by the way, was a club coach when I was a club co-director, and we worked together during a TLI, and we had a very close collaboration. Thank you for all you do for this for the district, Henry. Appreciate that. Next slide, please. Casey Lakshmi Narasimham. Casey, are you here? Looks like he's not. Congratulations, Casey. My good friend and the finance manager in my team, Pam Lee. Pam.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Look a bit more excited.
It's
right,
a little early on a Saturday, sorry. For me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Thank you, Pam. Congratulations. Elliot Mao. Elliot, I'm sure you're here. Are you not? I know. Good morning, Elliot. Congratulations. Love you too. Let's move on. Next slide, please. Katrina Myers. Katrina? Hello, Katrina. Nice to see you after a long time. Congratulations. Thank you. Moving on. Shanta Mohan, who was our admin manager a couple of years ago. Shanta, are you here? No. Congratulations, Shanta. Moving on. Our club growth director from last year and the current program quality director, Jennifer Perry-Ruzic. Congratulations, Jennifer. Moving on. Division director from last year, Riswana Rahman. Riswana, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Riswana. That's a great achievement.
Thank you.
And great to see you after a long time. Yeah.
Same here.
Babu Ramabhadran. Babu? Moving on. Our division director from last year, Denise Singh. Denise? Congratulations. Thank you, Denise. Our former area director, Alice Walkup. Alice? Congratulations, Alice. Moving on. My good friend, Paul Wallace. Paul? Looks like he's not here. Congratulations, Paul. Moving on. All right. So that's the list we had of all the distinguished Toastmasters who achieved this recognition after the conference of 2020. Congratulations, all newly minted distinguished Toastmasters. I know the effort and time it takes, the perseverance it takes to get to that achievement. Thank you all. Congratulations again. Now let's move on to the award section of this ceremony. This is the part where we talk about different awards, and we will start with the Area Director of the Year award. As I said earlier, we had a very unique year, and everyone had a tough time coordinating with clubs, and with no in-person meetings, it actually was much harder than what it looks. We had multiple area directors who did a wonderful job throughout the year, serving the clubs, serving the members and the district. And it's a shame that we could award only one. And that goes on for the area director and the division director awards. In fact, there were multiple candidates who did a wonderful job. Based on the services and performance over the year, which included mentoring a fellow area director and all the other services this individual provided to the clubs and the members and to the district, the award of Area Director of the Year goes to Gretchen Thomas. Gretchen, could you please switch on your camera? You have 2 minutes to say a few words to us.
I'm shocked. I can't believe it. Seeing my name there. Wow, we're really in honor with so many people that I admired doing so many great things, the teamwork and everything. I don't know what to say. I didn't expect this at all. I feel really honored and grateful for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gretchen. The district and I personally thank you for all your services to the team, to the district, and your candid approach with me. I really appreciate that. And I really hope our friendship continues. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Jacob, can we have the next slide, please? Yes, Division Director of the Year. Now, as I said, we had 6 division directors through the year 2020-21. All of them putting their sincere best effort, leading teams in a very difficult and unique time. And of the 6, about 2 to 3 of them stood out. And we also were inviting a lot of nominations. We actually invited nominations from the clubs for the area director of the year, and from within the area directors and the deck team for the division director of the year. And based on all the nominations and all the feedback we got, we finally had 2 individuals stand out of the 6, Mark Prince and Alex Kalinin. These were the final 2 contenders. Not that the rest did not do the job. It was just that based on the nominations and all the feedback we got. And between the 2, based on all the nominations we got, the top 4 decided that the award would go to Division Director of the Year from last year, Mark Prince. Mark? Thank you for all your hard work and services, Mark. It was really hard leading a team through the year, and you actually kind of set a template for a lot of us, showing the fellow area directors and the fellow division directors on how things could be done. Thank you. You have 2 minutes to share your thoughts.
Thank you, Kalidas. One can't achieve anything in Toastmasters without the support of thousands. And I can't name all the people who have been there for me this year. But it starts with Alex, my fellow area director last year. Thank you, Alex. The rest of the area directors, Denise Singh, whenever I turned around, you were there and supporting me. Rizwana, just the conversations that we had helped me to move forward and figure out how to take each step as it comes. Greg Athis, just the model of a volunteer, and Mayor Repetto, my partner in crime from the first club officer training through the year. These people have all been huge support for me. And frankly, I think this award goes to all of them. We've all had such a rough year. It's been amazing. I'm going to list some more names. I can't take the time to describe just how important you've been to me. Alan Zhang, Anat Karan, Christina Damore, Laura Heinz, my area directors, I love you guys. Janet Sotheby, John Gill, Suraj Venkateswaran, and Xin Wang. Each of you exceeded my expectations in so many ways. I just can't even say it. I've tried to say it. We'll have to meet up in person. And then standing on the shoulders of giants, Katrina Myers, Catherine Pratt, Kitsia Villas, Ken Colley, you have all been great support through which, like literally, I would have burnt out halfway through the year if it wasn't for your shoulders to cry on occasionally or to support. And so thank you, Kalidas, and thank you everybody for your support. And thanks to the district, because frankly, my clubs also rocked it this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. So there it was, our District Division Director of the Year for the year 2020-21, Mark Prince, who is also our current Club Growth Director. Thank you, Mark. Moving on to the third award of the year, Golden Gate Award. This is awarded annually, normally at the Spring District Conference. We couldn't do it during the district conferences due to some reasons. This award is given to individuals who have shown consistent service and dedication to the organization. Now, talking about the person who won this award this year, this individual has taken multiple district leadership roles over the years, and the high energy and readiness to help when and where needed has made this individual the ideal candidate for this award. And the award goes to Distinguished Toastmaster, Mike Fidel.
Just a minute, Kalidas. I'm sorry. Really? Sorry, I spewed some coffee on my monitor. My Sorry, I wasn't expecting anything like this. Thanks. I don't think the red blushing looks good on the monitor with a blue background. Anyway, can I clear my head? Thank you. Sorry, I have coffee in my nose. Thank you, everybody. I know I spend almost every meeting involved in some table topics, and we have 2 minutes to discuss things, and that should be adequate preparation after 8 years of that. But I'm lost for thoughts. I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody. I don't think I deserved it, but I still want to say thank you. And I want to say everyone, what I've enjoyed about this conference. I was thinking to myself, I know almost all of you, even those who did not show up. I know almost all of you, even if we've just met and just said 5 words. It's amazing what a nice group of Toastmasters we have here. Anyway, I'm going to be running out of time soon. I thank you. I got to clean my monitor and keyboard here for coffee. You shouldn't have to surprise me like that, but thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thanks again, Mike. You deserve it. And we are all proud of you. Thank you. Now the big one, the Toastmaster of the Year. This award is awarded annually to the top Toastmaster in the district. This individual who won this award this year has had a district-wide presence, working tirelessly to provide monthly pathway seminars to new district members, sponsoring a club, working with the PR team on an effort to bring back the Voice of Four on our website. And as a competitor at the district contest, I think I have given you enough clues for you to guess who that would be. Though you're all muted, I would encourage you to do kind of a drum roll wherever you are. The Toastmaster of the Year 2021 is Distinguished Toastmaster Katrina Pratt. Kat, could you please turn on your video, unmute yourself, and say a few words, please?
Woo! What the heck? Whoa, I don't know what to say. This is definitely definitely a surprise. I don't know. I think a lot of people here, it's great to see a bunch of people here that I know. And I don't even know what to say. Okay, hold on. Toastmasters has given a lot to me. And I just like to give back, being able to support people in their journeys as they go on. And I think, whether it's working with brand new members as I try to navigate, the educational program, or, working with people that are in some of these top roles, it's, I know how challenging it is, and being able to support people in that, I think, is really, really important. I don't know. I like to give back to what Toastmasters has given to me. So I'm completely incomprehensible right now, but thank everybody and encourage people for everything that they're doing. I know that Toastmasters has definitely had a switch in the past year and a half, but I think that we still are there to support people in their educational communication and leadership growth. And I think that's the most important part. So, wow. Thank you. I'm completely shocked. Thanks, Kalidas and the whole team.
Thank you, Kat. Again, we are all thankful to you for all your services. We appreciate what you do for the district. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster of the Year, our past district governor, distinguished Toastmaster Catherine Pratt. Thanks again, Kat. Jacob, can we move on to the next slide, please? Yeah, this is the time when I hand it over back to Laura. Laura?
Thank you, Kalidas, and congratulations to all of our exceptional Toastmasters this year. Now, to honor District 4 Toastmasters who passed away this year, past District 4 Governor, past International Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Ken Colley.
Thank you, Laura. Fellow Toastmasters, many of us have lost friends and loved ones this year. Sadly, some due to COVID. We also lost some dear Toastmaster friends who supported their clubs and the district in so many different ways. Please join me for a moment of silence to honor and celebrate the lives of Toastmasters who passed away in the last year and to honor those we've lost to the pandemic.
Thank you, Ken. Now, to retire the 2020-2021 District Leadership Team, our International Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Karen Lucas.
Hello, District 4, and happy Saturday. It is a pleasure to be here with you today to retire the leaders that have served this district so well in the last year. So welcome to the retirement ceremony for the outgoing leaders of District 4. Let's thank our district leaders for their service and their hard work. The District 4 leaders of the 2020-2021 term, may I please have your attention? We are grateful for your contributions over the past year and for fulfilling the responsibilities to the best of your ability. Please continue to support District 4 with your talent and your service. The 2020-2021 officers to be retired include Select Distinguished Division A Director, Alex Kalinin, Select Distinguished Area A1 Director, Ann Nguyen, Area A2 Director, Tashaki Ford, Select Distinguished Area A3 Director, Kevin Shea, Distinguished Area A4 Director, Mahi Saraf, and Division B. The Division B personnel included Distinguished Division B Director, Denise Singh, Area B1 Director, Suresh Sugavanam, Distinguished Area B2 Director, Jenin Tan, Area B3 Director, Alan Zong, Area B4 Director, Christina Demora. Division C personnel. We had Division C Director, Rizwana Rahman, as well as Distinguished Area C1 Director, Vashi Hayes, Area C2 Director, James Mulroy, Area C3 Director, Laura Hintz, Area C4 Director, Sindhuja Godavarthi, and our Area Director of the Year, congratulations again, Area C5 Director, Gretchen Thomas. Division D Director and their personnel, Division D Director, Greg Athos, Area D1 Director Lily Jang Chan, Distinguished Area D2 Director Nicole Medina, Area D3 Director Michelle Tang, Area D4 Director Nick Fuser, and Area D5 Director Simon Chan. Our Division E personnel. Division E Director Mayor Repetto. Area E1 Director Jacob Alfaro. Area E2 Director Erica Alfaro. Select Distinguished Area E3 Director Sarah Miller. Area E4 Director Angie Song. Area E5 Director Christian Luciano. Our Division Director of the Year and Select Distinguished Division F Director Mark Prince and his team in Division F, Distinguished Area F1 Director Suraj Venkatesaran, forgive me, Select Distinguished Area F2 Director John Gill, Distinguished Area F3 Director Janet Sotheby, and Select Distinguished Area F4 Director Sin Wang. The area director role is where the rubber meets the road, where you get to step outside of that club environment and get to lead courageously in clubs that you aren't a member of. And that can be a challenge. Congratulations, all area directors this year, on your courage and your ability to do so. Division directors, this is your first human capital position where you really can't out-engineer or outwork your division with just your two hands and 24 hours in a day. At this stage, you have to be able to get the idea of building a team and working towards a goal. Congratulations on being able to successfully do that as a division director. I bet you learned a lot. And it is a very rewarding experience to see what you can do and the positive impact you can make. Our three managers that served District 4 this year included the voice of the district, Public Relations Manager, Joe Bressler. You had amazing PR this year and were really formidable in being able to connect with members and the public. Congratulations on being able to do so. You were all over the region as well as within your district, and it was always fun to pop on to social media and to other platforms and get to see what District 4 is up to. The administrative manager, Jing Thompson, is the one that keeps the notes and the history of the district. Thank you for continuing to bring that continuity to the district and to make sure that the minutes are on point for all of the meetings. The money person, Pamela Lee, finance manager, making sure everything is done in accordance with the governing documents and with the expectations of World Headquarters, making sure that the members' money that funds the district is being spent in a proper, fiscally responsible way, and making sure that they can support the top three in their goals in using the money in order to deliver ultimate value to all members of District 4. Congratulations, Pamela. Our club growth director is Jennifer Perry-Ruzick this last year. Thank you for working diligently in chartering new clubs. This was done in the online environment, and it was a new emerging skill, not just for people, but for the organization. And it was something that took a lot of time, energy, and dedication to do so. Thank you for supporting that aim in growing new clubs to add value to our district, as well, of course, as supporting the existing clubs. Our program quality director, Timothy Carlisle, did an amazing job this year connecting the value of the education program with our members and our clubs. That is truly amazing. And you can see that District 4 this year, out of the 126 clubs that comprised of the base of District 4, Tim was able to connect with those clubs, and 51 of those clubs ended up being distinguished or higher. That is a huge accolade. He actually was able to achieve the distinguished metric for distinguished clubs in District 4. Congratulations, Tim. Also, as you previously just heard, the Distinguished Toastmaster, less than 1% of all members ever achieve Distinguished Toastmaster, and that is the highest accolade an individual member can earn through our education program. Now, note that that is not about being better in Toastmasters. It is about leveling up who you are and what your passion is and how to land appropriately in your communication and your leadership abilities with the outside world so that you can deliver the best version of yourself and what you want to do to leave your mark on the world through our education program and through Toastmasters. So program quality is all about distinguished clubs and distinguished members. Thank you again, Tim. District Director Kalidas Cheroolil. This is the top CEO level of the district. This is the visionary of the district. Ooh, not a lot of people get to sit in that seat as district director. You have a cadre of people in your district known as past district directors and governors, and they sit there and give you guidance and support and nod knowingly when you hit a wall, when you celebrate, and when you have frustrations, the good, the bad, the brutal. It all comes with district director. Leadership and learning leadership and communication isn't a function that looks like this. It kind of looks sort of like this sometimes. And in the district director role, I've felt it. I know other district directors have felt it, and past district directors have felt it. It is a ride, and you only have a year, 1 year. Thank you, Kalidas, from the bottom of my heart for leading courageously this year. Our first year, any district director class has had to lead the entire year in a virtual environment. You truly went above and beyond to be able to pivot to that virtual environment and be of service to your members in these 1x2 boxes. You showed up in any way you could to meet the need and to add the value. That is critical. Kalidas speaks highly of his entire team and always opts for solutions to unite his team. He is a true class act and is the mark of a servant leader. Thank you, Kalidas, for your service to all of our District 4 members this year. It has been an honor and a pleasure working with you. And please thank your wife for letting us have you all year and your dedication, time, and determination. You have made us a little more excellent here in District 4 and in Region 2 because of your service and your kind words and your open heart. Thank you. With that, District 4 leaders, you are hereby retired. Again, please continue to support District 4 with your talent and service. Please give all of these lovely leaders a huge round of applause. Back to you, Laura.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you. And thank you for joining us today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
From wherever you are. If we weren't meeting virtual, I don't know if that would happen. So thank you so much. Now, to deliver his outgoing district director's speech, please welcome outgoing district director, distinguished Toastmaster, Kalidas Cheroolil.
Thank you, Laura. Appreciate that. And thank you, Karen, for all the kind words. Really appreciate that. And I really appreciate all the assistance and help I got from you through the year. I really appreciate that. Now, moving on to my parting speech. Fellow Toastmasters, friends, and distinguished guests, I don't have much of a parting speech. What I have is a walk down the memory lane. Apologize. What I have is more of a walk down the memory lane about the last 4 years of my life, about the privilege of being in the district executive committee and the unique experiences it brought, experiences I would have gained nowhere else. How it all started. I used to be in consulting for years. I'm a mechanical engineer by profession, but for working in the IT industry for the last 20 years, mainly in consulting. And when you are in consulting, you go from client side to client side and you're billed by the hour. And the last thing you can do is take any time off that hour to attend anything else. So I saw this banner outside multiple doors over my years. Always had that question, always had that curiosity. What the heck goes on behind the doors? Is it something secretive, Illuminati-like thing? What is it? Finally, in 2014, I left consulting, settled down with a job here in Palo Alto because my family needed me more. My kids were growing up. And here I was with a predictable schedule when I left home and came back home. And one of those days, immediately after I joined this organization in Palo Alto, I walk across a conference room and I see the same banner there. Here I am, not a consultant anymore. So I go knock on the door and walk in. There is something funny happening in there because everyone seemed to be happy and laughing and having a great time. When I knock and walk in, they open the door, look a bit surprised, but then everything changes from a surprise to a welcome, smile, join us. I walk in and I never left. I still remember that first meeting and the grand and sweet welcome I got from my mentor over the years, Ulla Gustafsson. She is one big reason I'm still in Toastmasters. She is one big reason why I stayed in Electric Toasters, my home club. In my home club, we also had great individuals. Mali Dahl, Jan Steen, Joseph Swisher, of late Ellen Petrel, awesome teammates and friends. I really appreciate all of them and thank all of them and my Electric Toasters team for all the support, help, and assistance in growing me as a person, as a speaker, as a leader, and as a human being. Later, after doing a few club officer roles, I was doing the area director's role, getting an opportunity not just to step out of my club, but also to walk into multiple clubs with a badge given by the Toastmasters International, the area director's role. So the first few meetings, I had the badge on, but in the second or third meeting, I took that off, never had the badge after that, because it was me walking in as a friend, as a co-team member, as someone who cared for the club, for the gathering, for the team, for the group that each club had. Built awesome friendships in multiple clubs, and I still have awesome friendships with many of them. Really appreciate all those years, all those moments I spent as an area director. I really appreciate that. The magic started to happen when I stepped in as a club growth director. I had no plans to do it. Naomi Gonzalez, our past district director, she is the one who asked me a challenging question. Can you do it? Now, in that, I saw two things. A district director asking me, an area director, can you do it? So it's a challenge. Plus, she saw something in me which she feels I can do well as a club growth director. They didn't think twice to say, yes, I can, without realizing that I'm stepping into a blizzard, a hurricane. The first few months were very hard. Took a lot of guidance, a lot of help from awesome personalities. Joe Madley, Terry Joyce, Aubrey Carrier, Casey Huang, Catherine Pratt. Am I missing anyone? Matt Repeto. This was my team. And I was the one with the least experience. I was leading the team with all these legends, experienced leaders around me. And I didn't have to worry. I was in good hands. And we did wonderfully well as a club group team. Now, if I did well after that, over the years in the top 3, of course, as like any other human being, I'll take all the credit. If I did not do anything well, and if you have any complaint about me being into top 3, you know who to blame, Naomi Gonzalez, because she's the one who got me here. Naomi, I really appreciate you for pushing me into this, because this was one experience. It just made me gain a lot over the years. Really appreciate that. After that, I did the program quality. After driving on a busy 10-line highway, it was more like going to a countryside road. It was much easier, at least for me. So it was a breeze with all the assistance from the division directors and the area directors. And finally, the district director year last year. It was a very unique year. The ultimate honor and privilege to lead an esteemed district like District 4 with a diverse community, people from all backgrounds, all belief systems, all races and religions and regions. This is a very diverse district that we live in. And I got the ultimate privilege of leading that. Thank you all for giving me that opportunity. I really appreciate that. We had a very unique year with no in-person meetings. And as Karen said, it was hard because I, especially being an Indian of origin, I'm a more of an in-person, touchy guy. I love hugs. I love handshakes. I love standing next to each other and sharing a laugh. We missed all of that, but we still survived. We still helped each other, had each other's back, and we survived and we prospered. Over the years, I've really felt blessed that I was fortunate to have an opportunity to work with some of the most wonderful leaders in the district and beyond. Some of the most gifted individuals with fascinating skills and a wealth of experience. And being in Toastmasters, as a volunteer, as a leader, as a club member, as a club leader, and a district leader, learning on the job, an opportunity only Toastmasters provides. No other organization gives you an opportunity to do something without prior experience. Toastmasters is one unique organization, and we are all proud, and we should all be proud that we are part of it, and we make this organization. This is our organization. When I stepped in as a district director, I was stepping into big shoes, very big shoes left by some of our past leaders. It was not easy to do so. Leading a team of diverse personalities, people of different skill sets and different strengths and weaknesses. And I had my own strengths and weaknesses as well. So leading a team was its own challenge. We had our sunny days and rainy days. We had our smiles and loves. We had our occasional disagreements and challenges, but we prospered. No pain, no gain, but in the end, we gained. And now when I look at it, I compare this to a larva's transformation, to a butterfly. A larva going through that transformation of being in a cocoon and flying out finally as a butterfly. Now, each larva has its own unique transformation. And each one of us went through it last year. Thank you all who stood with me and let me stand by you. Really appreciate that. And I also learned that leadership is not a popularity contest. Sometimes you are the only one who could understand certain perspectives because you are in a unique place, in a unique set of shoes. The other person cannot see it unless they step into your shoes. Look at things from your vantage point. I'm a photographer, amateur photographer in real life, and I understand this a bit more. If you have seen photographs of the same object taken from different angles at a different set of time or from a different elevation, you'll see different pictures, different images. Leadership is something similar. So when someone disagrees with you as a district leader or a leader at any role, understand that the person actually stands at a different vantage point, and he or she have their own reasons, have their opinion, and they're entitled to it. And so are you. All of us share the same paths on this journey. but the duration we stay on this highway and the destination we choose is something very unique to us. Some of us stay for a short time, but have all the fun in the world. Some of them believe in going the whole distance and going on. What we achieve in this journey also depends on what we want to derive from it. I have seen some Toastmasters who join Toastmasters and who come to club meetings week after week after week, just for the fun or just for the thrill of being in the midst of friends and fellow Toastmasters and fellow storytellers, sharing the journey and enjoying the adventure. Medals and badges and recognitions are just a byproduct of that great journey. As long as we enjoy the journey and have the adventure together, the rest of the magic will happen. Now, after long 4 years in the DEC team, the District Executive Committee team, and the last 3 years in the top 3, I now have a lot of spare time. I'm now the immediate past District Director. Immediate past, which means you're kind of retired. You have a lot of bruises and cuts and wounds to show and a bit of wisdom to share. But just like a parent that I am to 2 teenagers, no one really needs it. I can tell you, being a parent to 2 teenagers. My son is leaving for college in a month. So now all that extra time is something I really appreciate. I can go back to my bucket list, revisit it, add a few more items to it, and go back to something I love, gardening, reading, and doing home projects. I have a long list to thank, and I will not take the whole time to do that. But I want to thank all my club mates at my home club, Electric Toasters, and the other club which welcomed me with open arms. Point of order, the Parliamentary Procedure Club in our district. Really appreciate all the members of both these clubs. Coming to the individuals, the list is long, but then I will just mention a few. Naomi Gonzalez, our former district director. Former district director Stephanie Chow, former district governor Joe Madley, Terry Joyce, my good friend. Casey Huang, Carsten Mans, our former district director, Aubrey Carrier, former district governor Catherine Pratt, former district director Kitty Evilas, past international director Ken Colley, Kameka Walker, Natasha Baker-Strait, who is not just very good in finance, she is creative with arts as well. If you don't know much about what she does, reach out to her. You'll be surprised. Mayor Repeto, Paul Wallace, Stephen Chen, past district governor Susan Swope, who was always a bouncing board for me, sharing ideas, giving me suggestions and help. Tony DeLeon, Tony, the Toastmasters DeLeon, our past district governor. Lauren Burton, Shanta Mohan, Jing Thompson, Mike Fidel, Laura Heinz, International Director Karen Lucas, and my mentor for last year, past International President Alfred Hersing. I appreciate all of you. I also appreciate and thank all the teammates I had in the last District Executive Committee team of District 4, 2020-2021. The area directors, the division directors, and the rest of the district leadership team. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you again for the opportunity and the honor of serving all of you and working with you. I really appreciate. Thank you for the journey. Thank you for the wonderful memories. And from my heart, one final thank you. Back to Laura.
Thank you for your excellent leadership, and we're not letting you go. You're going to join the team of so many area governors and past area district leaders that I see right here in this meeting. Not one of us is letting you go. Let's take a break. Thank you, Mike. Whew, it's getting warm in here. Now, to present the roast of the outgoing district director, our roastmaster of the day, past district director, distinguished Toastmaster, Kitsy Avalos.
Thank you, Laura. Jacob, you can turn off the slides. Welcome, everyone. Let's all gather around the campfire and get ready to roast Kalidas, which will be easy because he's made out of wood, as you can see from this photorealistic version of Kalidas. Now, I want to go back in time a little bit. Here is our portrait of our family when Kalidas first entered the top 3 of District 4. Stephanie was District Director, Kamika was our PR manager, and she introduced us to Bitmojis. Stephanie and I embraced Bitmojis full on. Kalidas, not so much. He threw out a Bitmoji here and there to humor us from time to time, and I've saved every single one of them. So we might see a few throughout this. By the way, Kalidas, you should have your camera on because we want to see your expressions throughout this whole thing. There we go, much better. Now, the way that this is going to work, each roaster will have 3 to 4 minutes to do their worst to Kalidas. I'm sure they've all been plotting a lot throughout the years. Now, there will be no grace period. Add 4 minutes. Our hook master, which is Jacob, who's also our tech chair, will mute them. So make sure that if you are one of those people who tends to go over the red, keep that in mind. In the meantime, Kalidas is going to be sitting there quietly, meditating, thinking of comebacks, and he will have his chance at the end to rebuttal and let us have it. So keep that in mind. All right, are we ready to get this show on the road? Before we start with our live roasters, we do have a recorded message from someone who unfortunately could not be here with us today because he is in Germany. I don't know who told him he could do that, but Karsten Mansk was finance manager when Kalidas was club growth director. He was actually Kalidas's division director when Kalidas was first area director. And he shared this message that we want to share with Kalidas. So I'm going to share my screen and share this message to get us started from Karsten. Let me make sure. Yep. All right. Can you guys see that? Can you see that, Kalidas? All right. And let me know if you can hear it.
Let me walk down memory lane. How I ran first into Kalidas from being an area director, division director, and multiple finance-related roles in District 4. First, I was area director. I was looking for club officer trainers. Kalidas was one of the trainers. Well-organized, very detail-oriented. He wanted his training to be a success for the members. I was impressed with his level of detail. One funny story. KC was division director at this point and provided me a list with names of trainers. Kalidas' name was spelled wrong. It said Kalidas had to correct me a couple of times saying, it's Kalidas. The year after, I was becoming the division director. With Kalidas being one of my area directors, Kalidas had everything under control. Well organized, very detail oriented. He was even helping the other area directors to have success in their area. Kalidas was a key factor for the success of Division A. I was asked if I wanted to nominate myself for the club growth director. I felt a little overwhelmed, but I still wanted to be part of District 4, so I took the finance manager role. Kalidas continued his journey toward district leadership, stepping up to be the club growth director with great success. Kalidas, determined, well-organized, and very detail-oriented. He created many new clubs this year, including the one that I was sponsor of. Thanks to Kalidas, I'm now a distinguished Toastmaster. I am very grateful for you, and I wish you all the best for the journey to come. Thank you, Kalidas.
Love Karsten. I wish you could have been here with us. Now, I think it's time to turn up the heat a little bit more. This is a bit of a warm up, but let's see what our next roaster has in store for us. Our next roaster has been an advisor to Kalidas throughout this year and probably throughout the past few years, as well as many of us. He's a past district governor, past international director, and our our district webmaster. Please welcome to the stage Ken Colley.
Thank you, Madam Roastmaster. Kalidas, I planned on starting with not being able to say your last name, but somebody beat me to it. I've said it only once in the 4 years that I've known you, and I butchered it badly. And after a lifetime of my name being mispronounced, I decided not to do you the same disservice. By the way, it's Colley, not Crawley. There is no R in my name. Is my camera on? Because I'm seeing Kitsy. Okay, let me move on. Anyway, sorry. Today, it's about you, not about me. So what can I say about you? Since much of my interaction has been as district webmaster, I worked with a large number of, I'm getting confused. I don't know if my camera's on. It is. Okay, I apologize. I've been district webmaster since 2004, and I've worked with a large number of leadership teams. You know, often there was someone on the team who felt that the website needed to be redesigned. And to avoid going through an annual redesign, I often let the teams know early in the year about how we typically have between 4,000 and 7,000 visitors a month, and how Toastmasters from around the world look to our website as a critical resource. Obviously, there's something about it to attract so many visitors, so why change it? After having to redesign the website 5 times, you'd think I'd know to make my case with your team. But since you and the others told me how much you appreciate the site and how valuable a resource it is, I assumed I could skip the talk. Well, obviously, that was a mistake. I got all the way to April before the request came in from Joe as part of his desire to rebrand all our web platforms. But no problem. Kalidas, you'll have my back. You love the site, and you'll support me when I push back. Nope, silence. Then I let Joe know that his changes would require me editing over 100 pages, along with modifying a large template file. Surely you'd say something about the huge amount of work required. Nope, silence again. Well, next I tried pointing out that the branding changes go against the guidelines published by World Headquarters. You definitely would support me with that argument. Still more silence. So Kalidas, when do you speak up? After Joe gets approval from World Headquarters for the new LinkedIn masthead. Joe, thank you for putting together this new look. Please coordinate with Ken to have it applied on our district website pages. 3 solid weeks later, much of it with a cast on my wrist, the new site is released. And you know, I have to admit it looks great, but where was my buddy Kalidas when I needed him? Well, sorry, I guess it's all about me anyway. Thanks for a great year, Kalidas. Madam Roastmaster.
Thank you so much, Ken. We'll see you back for the rebuttal in a little bit. Next up, who is next up here? Well, next up is Elliot Mao, who unfortunately doesn't have a Bitmoji, but she has plenty of DTM plaques instead. Where I have lots of Bitmojis, she has lots of DTM plaques. I had the pleasure of working with Elliot during my year when she was division director, and she's worked with Kalidas plenty as well. Let's welcome multiple time distinguished Toastmaster Elliot Mao to the stage. You're muted.
Dear Dear District 4 leaders, and especially Kalidas. My goodness, it's a good thing I'm here leading the pack in this roast because I read it all. My goodness, the man is a micromanager. The man is he will go after you to butcher his name. Chill, you guys. Leave the dude alone. He my hero. Kalidas, you the man. Let me tell you all how much this man has meant to me in helping me with all my leadership role in District 4. For example, he is a genius. Do you know? Because of his color-coded spreadsheets, I was able to track down all these people who did not get their officers trained. And I leveraged those spreadsheets too. Ooh, you are just one VPPR away from turning green. The lucky 7. You know how many lucky 7s I squeezed out of the spreadsheet? Yeah. And who told him to have such a last name? Is the last name just begging for you to be butchered? I say that's a setup for failure. Don't get full. You see, you should have seen the names that he butchered when I had him do the installation for San Francisco Mandarin English Toastmaster. Do you know we had him do a keynote speech in Mandarin? Ooh, you don't know about that. Talk about butchering names and languages. Oh my goodness. All right, come on. Let's be fair. I told you he's my go-to dude. I have gone to Kalitta so many times to get that digital registration form going. Yeah, don't ask him. He'll tell you. 6 times, my friend. 6 times he took me to figure out how to set it up. I'll tell you why 6 times. I call him during his meetings at work. I call him during his lunch hour. I call him during his barbecue in his backyard. I even call him right after his son's graduation. No guilt. You know why? Because the dude was with me. He helped me. But this has got to be like a sandwich evaluation. We got to get the Oreo, the fillings in there. What is the problem here? The problem is 6 times, my friend. How come it took 6 times for him to get it? Confucius say, there is no stupid student. There is only a stupid teacher. Aha! You got it. All right, here's a clue. Kitty, would you show the people that logo that he chose? He might be a mechanical engineer. He might be that. Do you all remember that logo of his? Yeah, it's got those gears. Take a really close look at it next time, my friends. Those gears, they don't match. They don't mesh. Before you even turn it, it ain't gonna happen. Oh, so how did it happen? Where's the magic? Where's the mojo? I'll tell you where the magic and the mojo is, my friend. Kalidas always address me as Elliot, my friend. Aha. It has always been Elliot, my friend. And because of this, I'm telling you, that's his magic. That's how he gets everybody recruited. That's how he gets people on his team. That's how he gets the pull. Because no matter what, he will always say, thank you, my friend. And Kalidas, this is what I want to say to you for all that you've done. Thank you, my friend. It's all about friendship.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Mao. Thank you so much. All right, let's keep this roast going. Next up, we have our cat lady, tech chair extraordinaire, whose cat has made plenty of appearances in Zoom this year, and hence the very appropriate Bitmoji. Let's welcome past Toastmaster of the Year, past Division Director, Katrina Myers.
Thank you, Kitsy. Kalidas, or should I say Kalidas? No matter, no need for you to weigh in either, because I think I finally figured out how to pronounce your name correctly. And it only took 6 club officer trainings together, countless contests, webinars, and other events. The secret is to say it really, really fast. Kalitta Cheroolil, See, if I say it fast enough, then it's right every time. I wish I would have discovered this little trick last year. Then you wouldn't be able to roast me at every club officer training for mispronouncing your name, even though I practiced it so many times. Somehow I would just never measure up to your very exacting standards. But now, if I say it fast enough, it's so fast, you don't have to process each little syllable and intonation. So huzzah, Kalidas Cheroolil, nailed it. I did notice, however, that you did skip over pronouncing my own middle name. So that's curious. Maybe you should use my little trick too. While I don't miss constantly worrying about how to pronounce your name correctly, I do miss being your conference chair. As we deconstructed the annual conference for the first time last year, I really enjoyed you assigning me tasks and then constantly checking in and following up to make sure I was making progress and not just curled up in a ball on the couch eating bonbons. The world did feel like it was falling apart a year ago, and your constant barrage of email kept me grounded. I don't know how I got things done before I had you micromanaging the entire process. I mean, I was obviously going to leave everything to the last minute and was going to let every detail fall through the cracks before you started blowing out my inbox to remind me to follow through and check tasks off my list. Last year's deconstructed conference and district speech contests definitely would not have been successful without your continuous guidance. I feel like this next year as immediate past district director might be a little tough for you since you're just an advisor and you don't have a checklist of things to find committee chairs for. And now that I've taught everyone the fail-safe trick to pronounce your name, you don't even have to worry about that anymore. Even though your year as district director was during a worldwide pandemic and you no longer got to enjoy that extra long commute from the East Bay over to District 4 to attend Toastmaster Leadership Institutes, District Executive Committee meetings, club officer trainings, and speech contests. I know that deep down, you really missed those long car rides and being stuck in traffic because the virtual world just isn't the same as in person. But even with this challenge of moving everything online, we've still ended the year with District 4 mostly intact, with many clubs reaching various distinguished club statuses, as well as areas and divisions. Congratulations, Kalidas Cheroolil. You made it through a grueling year, a year of challenges and successes, and we couldn't have done it without you. Madam Roastmaster.
Thank you, Katrina. I wish I'd heard this trick as well. I remember every time that I would try to pronounce Kalidas' name, I'd be like, Kalidas? And he'd be like, yep, Kalidas. And he'd say it again. And I'm like, but that's what I'm saying. How is what you're saying different from what I'm saying? I don't know.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right. Thank you so much. Next up is the person whose fault this all is, whose fault it is for all of us being in district leadership, the don't have coffee with her, Naomi Gonzalez, who is always in her own little world. And I'm sure this Bitmoji is very relevant to what she's going to talk to us about next. Maybe she's just ignoring Kalidas with her vacuum. I don't know. Naomi, are you here?
I am here.
Come on. It's your show. But beware the red card.
And my time starts counting now. Fellow Toastmasters, today I'll share 3 things about Kalidas that have already probably been shared for the most part. 1, he has high standards and pays great attention to detail, as you were able to see during the recognition section of this event. If you did not have an opportunity to learn all the role descriptions during the year, you did today. And then, of course, did you notice how he noticed how the brakes light didn't have the time and had that corrected? That's Kalidas. If I ever decide to have brain surgery, I will ask Kalidas to be in the room with the surgeon. You want him on your side. Number 2, as you may have surmised already, due to point number 1 and all the other roasts, Kalidas definitely favors a leading style that requires the use of an electron microscope. That's how involved he gets. But to illustrate it further, for those of you who are very visual, I have a graphic novel for you. Ready? There we go. Here I am. During the first year, I don't have any district leadership charges. Happy, just going through the world, enjoying not having any responsibilities. Along comes Kalidas and uses very sweet language. And yes, he did say my friend as he asked me to take on a project. And of course, he may have asked this after a dinner where some wine may have been served. So I said yes. By the time I got home, that was what my email looked like and continued to look like for a few months. That may have been my response to Kalidas's very detail-oriented leadership style. But something that I want to say about number 3, and the reason why I keep saying yes to Kalidas every time that he comes by and asks for me to get involved somehow. When I first met Kalidas, it was at a Train the Trainer event. And Kalidas had, when asked why he was there, essentially said this, and I'm not quoting him because that was many years ago and I did not know I was going to be roasting him one day. But Kalidas said, I'm here because I don't find any value in club officer trainings. In my program quality director head, I was like, what? But then Kalidas said, so I figured I should be here, get involved, and see how I can change it and perhaps understand it better. And then I said to myself, there's a future district director. And it's for that earnestness and caring that I keep saying yes to Kalidas. Thank you. Back to you, Kitsi. How did I do on time?
But we didn't even see the yellow card. What is this? This is not Noemi. Who took over Noemi's body?
I'm telling you, a new and improved Noemi.
Thank you, Noemi. Now I can't make a joke about running the red card, but thank you, Noemi, for ruining my roast. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, Noemi. That was great. Now to wrap this up, we have someone who abandoned us just when, partway through my year and definitely was not around for Kalidas this year, but she's also to blame for a lot of this. And she is very much a badass. So let's welcome our badass from Denver, Stephanie Chow.
Thanks, Kitsi. And how fitting it is that I happen to be on vacation in San Francisco right now, just in time for the leadership luncheon. Kalidas, I would be remiss and you would get so mad at me if I didn't mention the first interaction that we had when we were elected as district leaders. I immediately went up to Kalidas after, I immediately went up to Kalidas right after the election. I was about to hug him. Anyone who knows me knows I love hugs. I went up to him going in for the hug and I stopped and I was like, wait a minute, are we on hugging terms? I just wasn't sure. I didn't want to assume. And Kalidas was kind of offended. And even till this day, he still gives me crap for it. And I never explained this to you at the time, Kalidas, but honestly, I was just trying to respect my elders. I'm pretty sure at the time I was around 27 and it's like, it would be like hugging my dad. But I mean, like a cool dad, like a really cool dad. I mean, the day that I learned you rode a motorcycle, I was like, this is the best thing ever. But honestly, in regards to the motorcycle, I'm kind of surprised that your commander-in-chief, your wife, even gave you permission to have a motorcycle. Also, speaking of, dad things, I really missed your dad jokes. I actually kept a text message from you all of these years where I said to you, Kalidas, I want to send you something in the mail. Can you give me your address? I'm pretty sure it was like a gift of some sort. You replied, if it's money, just PayPal me because I'm short on my mortgage this month. Even over text, you were absolutely hilarious. I still think you were one of the funniest Toastmasters I've ever met. Some feedback whenever you're trying to be funny. I love when you're obvious about joking. It makes it super easy and clear. When you're nonchalant and you say something that could or could not be a joke, I'm just not sure if I should laugh. I just default to laughing. Everyone knows this. I just laugh at everything. So I just started laughing at everything that you said because I found it genuinely hilarious. And it was within the first week we started working together. I remember we went to the bank. It was me, you, and Carson. And you turned to me and you said, Stephanie, I don't know if you actually find me funny or if you just don't understand me because of my accent. I mean, it can, still can kind of go one way or the other. I'm sure other people in this event can relate. Where I just started, it's kind of like if I'm talking to my Chinese grandma and I don't understand Chinese, so I'll just smile and nod. And I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure this is how you recruited every single team you've ever had over the years. You'll ask them something, they have no clue what you're saying, and they'll just like smile and nod. They have no idea what they just agreed to. It's probably an awkward situation several years later where you have a ton of people who are in leadership. They have no idea how they got here, but it was probably because you asked them something they didn't understand and they just like, sure, whatever this guy is telling me, let's just go with it. But it's now so awkward that I don't want to touch this situation with a 10-foot pole. And in fact, I don't even want to touch it with a pole that's like 1,200 feet long or 1,200 miles long, which is why I moved to Denver to just slowly back away from this. And also, speaking of Denver, some life update. I don't know if you know, but before I left Denver, you gave me a ton of marriage advice, and now I'm divorced. So thanks a lot, Dad. But really, Kalidas, I miss you so much. And thanks again for having me.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. All right. Well, now is Kalitta Cistern. I'm sure all of us are wondering, what did Kalidas think of all that? Did he think we did a good job? Did he have respect for us? I'm sure he's been exercising his funny bone to get back at us. So let's actually have all the roasters come back on their video so that we can see your expressions as Kalidas rebuttals you. And Kalidas, the floor is now yours. I think we have about 15 minutes or so.
Thank you, Bitmoji Queen. It's the Evilus, my good friend, and the district director who I work with. Anyone who knows Kitsy knows that she's perhaps the only one who would go out, get a new set of dress, and get her hair done to match the Bitmoji she has on the slide. I haven't met, I'm 52 now. Not old enough to be Stephanie's dad, but still, right? Let's assume I am. Still, I have met quite a few ladies, but then she's the only one who I've seen them do that. So she is and will be my Bitmoji queen. Now, if you want to take Kitsy along with you on a ride, don't let her be in the next seat. Don't let her be the navigator because she has no sense of direction. Okay, she doesn't know. I think she has gone to school, I'm sure about that, but not east, west, south. This is Greek and Latin for her. She didn't really understand the concept. Now, one thing common that we heard from everyone is how I'm particular about my name. The reason is that this name was given to me by my grandma. So anytime anyone butchers my name, my grandma in her grave takes a turn. So I was trying to, be kind on my grandma. So if I offended anyone by requesting you or clarifying my name to you, it was on behalf of my grandma, and she would be thankful to you. I'll get to you, Ken. Don't worry. Now, she's also Kitsy. If you want to now that we have Kitsy as a past district director, the incoming leaders, if you want Kitsy in any of your team, all you have to do is show her the bling. What does it get her? The medals is the best way to get her. Okay. So when her roast was about to happen, I was hoping that I will be on that panel, but somehow I didn't make the cut. And this is my sweet revenge to you, Kitsy, having you be the roast master for my roast. I was looking forward, after working with you for 2 long years, I was sincerely waiting till the morning of the roast to be called. And I sincerely thought it's going to be a surprise call from Stephanie. And I'm going to hold it against you all my life because I was a bit hurt. Now, this is my best way to get the revenge on you in a sweet way, right? So that's Kitsy. Now, let's see. Let's move on. Course number 2. Carsten. He's in Germany anyway. He doesn't say, he is not even listening, but he didn't say anything bad about me. Right? So, and the Kalitta part, of course, I've heard my name pronounced every possible way. Kalitta was just one of them. I forgot. Kitsy is perhaps the only one who has actually gave me a Puerto Rican name. Once, I remember she once introduced me as Carl Dias. Remember that, Kitsy? I all of a sudden became, I heard people come to me and ask me, hey, buenos dias and all that, assuming that I'm Latino. And I take pride in that. I'm brown skinned. I'm no offense. I like it. At Carl Dias, that's taking it a bit too far. Now, Carsten is not here and he didn't say anything bad about me, so I'll move on. Number 3, my good friend Ken Colley, one person I always looked up to all through the years. Ken, I still do. I love you. Now, I don't remember ever calling you Ken Carlisle. If I did a few times, it's my accent. As Stephanie clearly said and repeated, not many people understand my accent. If you have seen the movie, The Rush Hour, I don't remember the actor. He says to Jackie Chan, do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? It's something, something similar, right? So it's my accent, Ken. I didn't really mean to butcher your name. And, yeah, though everyone has done it over the years to my name, it's okay. In Toastmasters, we take pride in pronouncing each other's name. And, I consider it's my responsibility to help the other person understand how my name is pronounced. Nothing more. I've heard my name pronounced every possible way. Now, if I call T-Mobile or someone, being an amateur radio operator, I go, Kilo, Alpha, Lima, India, Delta, Alpha, Sierra. That's how I do it because otherwise they won't understand me, just like what Stephanie said. I'm sorry for not being helpful when you had some tough time with Joe, because I had a very unique, the details. I will not get to the group, the details of it, yeah. But then we are all teammates there, and sometimes it is better for the specific people to let them talk. And if you needed help, all you have to do is just tell me, hey, Kalidas, this is where I need your help. I would have stepped in. Otherwise, stepping in looks like taking a person's side, which is not how our time works. So if you feel that I'll let you down, I apologize from the bottom of my heart. Okay, I didn't mean it. That's an approach I take with everyone. I don't take sides. I step in only when required. Moving on to my good friend Elliot Mao, Chairman Mao. Now, she talked about a lot of things, and at times I thought she was giving me a compliment only to realize she was not. So that was well done, Elliot. Now, Elliot is one person who has, I don't know, the last time I counted, 50 TTMs. How much do you have, Elliot? She's actually on a roll. She actually, just getting those TTM things about, every 6 months, 8 months. I don't know what. So TI actually now has a separate production unit purely for Elliot. Because it actually has to keep coming. So she has that. Now, she talked about the technology things, right? Where I helped her or coached her in a bad way. Now, if you have worked with Elliot, she's a wonderful, artistically inclined and very good friend to have, a wonderful storyteller, wonderful. Technology, not her strength. Please don't let her edit her own registration form. You know why? because she doesn't understand the difference between creating a registration form and publishing it. She doesn't understand the difference between using a registration form to register herself. So last time she tested a registration form, which I set up for her, first name, she replaced the word first name on a form, which is in edit mode, with some words, which I can't say here. She went on with everything, first name, last name, club name. You should have seen, it was some colorful adjective things there. And I go in and see the registration coming in. It is some colorful stuff there. And I called Elliot and said, Elliot, did you do anything? Yes, I just registered. Did you? You did not. You actually messed up the registration form, just published. Now she holds it on me. I'm the bad teacher. I'll take that, Elliot. Now, don't forget the, I don't know, 8, 10, I don't know how many dinners you offered me. Wonderful, tasty Chinese dinners every time I saved you. Right? So I have a bad, I don't have a bad memory. I'll keep that. So we will have dinner together. Now, that's pretty much it. I won't say much about the color-coded sheets and all that because that's how I work, right? I'm kind of a colorblind person. I need colors to work. Just like Kitsi love bling, I like colors. I like things to just stick to my face, right? So I work with that. So nothing more. Butchering names, we are all in this together. We are all trying our best to butchering each other's name, Elliot. So I came to your club and despite of my best effort, butchered some names. I apologize, but yeah, we are all doing that. Katrina Myers, you two said, first of all, I didn't mean to skip your middle name. There were names where the names were, I know you well, so where I was very comfortable with someone and you are a known face in District for Toastmasters. That's the reason I skipped your middle name, nothing more. Okay, please don't read anything more to it. It was my closeness to you, perhaps, which made me do that. Saying my name fast, that's a good trick. Kitsi has taken note of it, and I'm sure she's going to use that to butcher my name even further. So that was a good lesson for Kitsi. Now, micromanage too many emails. Yeah, I don't know about if it is micromanage, but when I work with someone, I try to provide everything that I have with me, hand it over, and then let them do it, and then periodically check. And if I flooded your inbox, Naomi shared the same experience. Anyone who has worked with me know how initially it is. When we are trying to understand what we are trying to do, and I was trying to do it myself, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, right? As you know, by the time you figure out the role, it's June 30th. Stephanie knows about the first question. One of the first questions I asked her when I stepped into the top 3. Do you remember that, Steph? When will I finally get a grip on this role? And she said June 30th. And I realized that's true. Every single role we step into, we understand it fully on the last day of the role. And perhaps after that. Hindsight sometimes tells me, hey, I could have, I should have. Yeah. Now, IPDD. IPDD is more like being retired. And my son is going to college, as I said. So I have a lot more free time. And I always enjoyed meeting you, Katrina. I always enjoyed meeting all my friends. But I don't miss one bit of on those long drives or all those meetings. I have moved on. I have better things to do, and I'm enjoying the time with my kids and my family. So I'm not missing any of it. Yeah, that's my honest thing there. Moving on to Naomi, the very person who actually got me into all this trouble. Yeah, I'm sitting here because of her. I'm getting roasted because of her. Naomi, I hold it against you. She said, I have high standards, attention to detail. I don't know whether to read it as a compliment. I would like to take it as a compliment. I put a double star on that because I need to sometimes pat myself, right? I'm a guy with a very big ego, as you know. Brain surgery. That is, that is actually a bit of, too much of confidence you're putting in me, inviting me to your operation table where your brain is getting, surgery. Hopefully you will not ever, and I will not be there. I really appreciate the fact that you remembered the first conversation we had, Naomi, where you forgot that Aubrey, that is the first time I met you and Aubrey and Kat. And Aubrey did that wonderful song. I don't remember what song it was. Yeah. and I'm sure you remember, and I've heard Aubrey sing a lot more after that. So I really appreciate that. And I have nothing to say in rebuttal to you because I've saved that for the last person. Now let me get to the lady from Denver, Stephanie. Now first of all, Stephanie, I'm 52. I don't know how old you are, and as a lady, I will not ask you. But when I worked with you, I always wondered if you're 16, 36, or 68. Because there were times when my 12-year-old niece would speak better and do better things. And then the next day, you would be like my sister, advising me on things. And the very next moment, you will behave like my grandma. So I always wondered where you fit in when we were working together, right? And we know each other for quite some time now. Now, you actually tried to diffuse the rebuttal by taking away the punch from me. You knew what I'll come after, right? I remember this lady giving me the first hug. Now, you heard her part of the story. I'll tell you the real story. The three of us got confirmed. 4 of us, actually. Stephanie as a district director, Kitsy as a program quality director. I was the incoming club group director, and Kameka Walker as a PR manager. Now, this lady, as you know, can go into bursts of laughter, loud, for no reason. You know that. Anyone who knows Stephanie knows that. So she was going around the big conference room laughing, and people were just paying attention to her just to see who was that, right? And she was pretty much hugging everyone because she was so excited. And then I come along. I was the area director who had perhaps one interaction with her before that. I didn't really know Stephanie well, and I'm sure she didn't know me well. She comes in, Kalidas, we made it. She gives me a hug. And through the hug, she brings her mouth next to my ears and just whispers into my ears. So we are in hugging terms. Huh? Now, we are now living in a society, the Me Too movement or whatnot, and a lady is saying this to me. It scares the hell out of me, Stephanie. Right? So that was my first experience. You are one scary lady at times. Then, I don't know if you remember, yes, a few years ago, Stephanie in her conference program, she introduced herself as someone who has rated restaurants around US, multiple restaurants. Yeah? The small detail she missed is, she goes to restaurants just to see if she can get free liquor. If she gets served free liquor, higher the ratings. No liquor, no ratings. Isn't that the secret, Stephanie? Now, she moved to Denver, and I was actually a bit down about that because she's a good friend of mine. I consider her family. When she moved to Denver, and the first time I met her, she told me, hey, Kalidas, do you know weed is legal in Denver? Everyone smokes. I said, really? Yeah. And everyone here is happy. Everyone smokes. Really? Yeah. Do you remember that, Kitsy? This was in Denver during the media training. And the best part is, after moving to Denver, every time I saw her, this lady, she's always happy. Now, I'm not saying anything. I'm not implying anything, but weed is free, it's legal, and everyone smokes in Denver. Is there a possibility? Perhaps. Now, she told me, she actually made me aware of my age and called me dad and granddad and whatnot. I don't take offense at that, Stephanie, because for someone of your maturity level at times, I could even be your grandfather. The marriage counseling, it was not counseling. I considered you my family, so I was just sharing. I didn't mean it any other way. And the news you gave me just now, I didn't know about it, and I'm sorry to hear about that. Because I love you, and you know that, right? You're your family. Appreciate this. And finally, that actually is pretty much my rebuttal. But I should now say that I consider this an honor, a privilege to have my good friends, Kitsy, Katrina, Colley, Steph, Elliot, Naomi. All of you make fun of me during the roast or otherwise. You do that because you have the freedom with me. And you know that I could respond in the same way. I really appreciate the freedom I have had with you. And I really appreciate what you have done over the years for me and the help I've got from each one of you. I really appreciate your friendship. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kalidas. Everybody feel free to unmute if you wanna. Thank you so much. Woo! Thank you for your service, Kalidas, and for being a good sport. And thank you to all the roasters for bringing the heat. Now back to you, Laura.
Thank you, Kitsy. And thank you, Kalidas. I want everyone to know that there's 2 reasons that I'm your Toastmaster today. Number 1, I answer phone calls, even when it comes up Kalidas, and I can pronounce his name. Don't think that that's not the reason that I'm Toastmaster today. Thank you. Now, to install the incoming district leadership team for 2021 to 2022, past international president and our current Region 2 advisor, distinguished Toastmaster Pat Johnson.
Thank you so much, Laura, for the warm welcome. And I've really enjoyed the roast. So thank you all the speakers that told stories. That's one way to get to know a district leader. Well, welcome to the installation ceremony for the incoming leaders of District 4. Today, we'll officially induct those new leaders and pledge our support to them for the coming year. All of you who have been elected area directors, I'd like you to use the raise hand function on your toolbar so that we're able to see you, and I'll call your names out. We have Vidya Kagan, Janet Sotheby, Alan Shong, Lily Sheng Chan, Mike Fidel, Gretchen Tobitz, Purvi Kapadia, Kumbia Mishra, Henry Crook, Payush Chandra, Shri Kirti Vilivela, Pohang Singh, Anna Marma Laki, Irvin Gozali, Gokul Kalur, Frederick Gonzalez, Sherwin Rodriguez, Elena Kuchikova, Jennifer Chang, Salvador Tovar, Asha Shri Kumar, Nori Mitsushima, Chris Daly, Sam Orsi, Max Tish, Rosalie Villalobos, William Wu, Dee Nigam, Karina Yim, Janet Sun, Jeff Jones, Dan Beck, Kevin Shea. That was a mouthful. Thank you, area directors, and we'll acknowledge your division directors in a few moments. So as area directors within Division 4, one of your major roles, having been selected to serve as the area directors, is to provide guidance to clubs when visiting them. You'll also be a vital liaison between the district and those clubs. You will hold area council meetings, help support and provide training for the club officers, and support their success in the Distinguished program. As area directors within District 4, will you commit to doing your best to help fulfill the district mission of building new clubs and supporting all clubs in achieving excellence. And I would ask all of you to please unmute and respond, I will.
I will.
I will.
I
Okay.
will.
Great.
I will.
I will.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So looking at the division directors that we have on our list today, as division directors, your role is to lead and support the division through the supervision and support of the area directors. And if you would raise your hand on your toolbar so that you would go to the top of our screen so that we can see you. And we have Vijay Kagan, Janet Sotheby, Alan Xiong, Lily Shang Chan, and Mike Fidel, Gretchen Tometz. So those are our division directors. Great. So one of your primary responsibilities as division directors this year is to ensure that each club achieves its mission and fulfills its responsibility to its members. To achieve this, you must coordinate division council meetings and activities, set division goals, and assist in the training of area leaders and club officers. As division directors, will you commit to doing your best to support area directors and help the district fulfill its mission? Please respond, I will.
I will.
I will.
Will.
Great. Congratulations to each one of you and enjoy your leadership journey. It is as big a role as you want to make it. The following Toastmasters have been selected to serve the district. The administrative manager, and if you'll raise your hand so that we can see you at the top of the screen. This would be Karina Hahn. Our finance manager for District 4, Joe Bressler. Our District 4 Public Relations Manager, Anna Marie Buonacori. Let me speak to these roles. Karina, as administrative manager, you're responsible for maintaining the historical records of the district, recording and distributing meeting minutes, and otherwise maintaining accurate, timely records of business meetings. Will you commit to doing your best to support this team and help the district fulfill its mission? Please respond, I will. Okay, perhaps Karina's not able to be with us. Finance manager, Joe, you are tasked with the fiscal oversight and management of the district. I used to tell my finance manager their job was to keep me out of jail. So it was a big job. You will work closely with the district director, the PQD, the CGD, to ensure that the district is making cost-effective decisions within policy that result in effective fiscal management. Joe, will you commit to doing your best to support your team and help the district fulfill its mission? Okay, maybe we can get all of this in writing later on. And Anne Marie, as public relations manager, you're responsible for coordinating publicity efforts in the district, establish and maintain lines of communication between the district and its members, as well as between the district and the public. You will work to increase awareness of Toastmasters International through all available media. Anna Marie, will you commit to doing your best to support your team and help the district fulfill its mission?
I will.
Thank you, Anna Marie, and congratulations and enjoy your year.
Thank you.
So I would ask the following Toastmasters to use the raise your hand function when you're introduced. Mark Prince for the incoming Club Growth Director for District 4. Jennifer Perry-Ruzek for the incoming Program Quality Director. And Tim Carlisle for the incoming District Director role. So let me speak a bit about these roles. Mark, as District 4 Club Growth Director, you're responsible for all aspects of marketing, club building, and club retention with the district. This includes defining an overall marketing strategy for the district, developing outreach and retention efforts with existing community and corporate clubs, and penetrating new markets. Additionally, you will support challenged clubs and help them to become distinguished. Mark, do you accept the duties of the Office of Club Growth Director and pledge to do your best to serve District 4 and fulfill its missions?
I will.
Congratulations, Mark, and I look forward to celebrating your successes with District 4 this coming year and watching your leadership journey. Congratulations again. Jennifer, as Program Quality Director for District 4, you're responsible for all aspects of education and training within the district. This also includes supporting quality club programming efforts, promoting the Distinguished Club Program, and planning, organizing, and executing the district conference. You're also responsible for promoting and supporting club quality and member retention. Jennifer, do you accept the duties of the Office of the Program Quality Director and pledge to do your best to serve the district and fulfill its mission?
Jennifer had a personal family emergency and is not unable to attend.
Thank you, Mr. District Director, for that. Well, I wish Jennifer the very best as she takes on these challenging roles as a leader within District 4 and knows that the team is there to support her and work with her. Program quality is such a hub in the district team. Our District Director, Tim Carlisle. Tim, as District Director, you're responsible for conducting yourself in a way that embodies the Toastmasters' values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence. As the district's Chief Executive Officer, you lead the Toastmasters members in fostering strong clubs, achieving their goals, and fulfilling the district and Toastmasters International missions. Tim, do you accept the duties of the Office of District Director and pledge to do your best to serve both the district and international while fulfilling those missions?
I do.
Congratulations, Tim, and I wish you the very best each day as you take on this leadership challenge. May each one of you have great learning experiences and remind one another on a daily basis that we're here to learn from one another and work together. And I look forward to celebrating with you on June 30th, 2022, as this district is recognized as a distinguished district. So to you, the audience, each one of you as members of District 4, I have a question for you. As members of this district, you've chosen your leaders for this upcoming term. You've selected them to leadership positions and you have a responsibility to now support them in those roles. Will you personally help this district team to be successful? Please respond, we will.
We will.
We will.
We will.
We will.
Will.
Congratulations. It takes each member of a district to work together to fulfill the mission of the district. Each person on your division team, your area director team, and on the district extended team all have roles to learn and grow in and objectives to deliver on. I wish you the very best as you learn how to work together to deliver on those objectives and to bring the best outcome possible for District 4 so we can celebrate the excellence that we've achieved at the end of this year. So this concludes the installation ceremony of the incoming leaders of District 4. I extend my congratulations to each one of you as you embark upon this growth-focused leadership experience. May you grow as leaders and thrive within District 4. Thank you, everyone, for attending, and may we all gather together, as I said, in June next year to celebrate the distinguished status of this team. And we'll be there if you all work together and support one another. Congratulations again, and best wishes to each one of you. Back to you, Laura.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you. This wasn't in my script. Please help me welcome our new District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Tim Carlisle.
Good morning for a couple more minutes, District 4. I am honored that you put your trust in me to lead our district during one of the most unprecedented times in our organization's history. I will not let you down. The focus this year is one of the most important ways to remind us about what we care about most. My focus for the year is lead, learn, empower, adjust, and develop. We learn exponentially. In Toastmasters, we learn by doing. Sometimes that's learning from practicing until we get it right, in competition with others, training others, and even learning from our mistakes. I am Exhibit A from all of these kinds of learning. Learning from our mistakes. I ran many speech contests, numerous club, 3 area, 2 division, and the district speech contests. As you can imagine, not everything went right. We have to pick ourselves up and move forward. Learn. Empower everyone. Let's empower everyone, from area and division directors to club officers to our newest Toastmasters members, empowering you to become your best self and who you are destined to be. Empowerment is to allow you to lead in any capacity you're able, whether it's just giving that first speech, bettering English, polishing speaking and leadership skills, or simply just getting up there until you approve. I am 100% committed that you and every single member have the ability to complete whatever it is that you desire. Empower. Adjust. We're in a period of great change. The biggest change is in our meeting types, in person, hybrid, and virtual. We're making plans and deciding how to come out of the pandemic in the most effective way. The future is unknown. We'll adjust those plans as we continue to learn and grow our expertise. I think of adjustment as a knee brace. I bring this example up because I'm getting ready to have a total knee replacement soon. A knee brace is adjusted as the range of motion changes. Whether a knee brace or a strategy adjustment, We're always adjusting it in life. So it is with our strategy as we come out of the pandemic. Develop our leaders everywhere. We need to build a solid bench of future leaders. We have made a good start this year with a brand new crop of area directors and club officers who have stepped out of their comfort zone and stepped into leadership. I spoke to one young woman recently who simply lights up the room when she walks in. And she told me she wasn't certain she was ready. I told her that's exactly why I asked her to be a club officer. It's okay to start out scared or uncertain. This type of leadership changes you to become a person of consequence. Develop. Speaking of develop, Helen Keller said, when we do the best we can, we never know what miracle is wrought in our life or the life of another. I challenge each and every one of you who is a distinguished Toastmaster to do the best you can to engage with the Pathways educational program and continue to upgrade your skills so the hard work you have completed will inspire new members and leaders. Your deep knowledge and mentorship of new members and grooming of emerging leaders will be the basis to help them transform. Consider completing your Pathways DTM. It's quite different from the legacy DTM. We only pay $90 per year for personal development. Take advantage of Toastmasters learning and experiential opportunities so that you can continue to excel. LEAD. It spells out far more than the word lead itself. It explains how we will proceed post-pandemic and beyond into a brighter future. It is the solution we all seek to a better day in Toastmaster. My question to you is simply this: will you join me in being part of the solution? Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Thank you to everyone that made this possible today. And so sorry that some of us are not going to be in the leadership team, and so excited to welcome the new leadership team. Thank you, everybody. Is there anyone else to speak? Tim?
Thank you, Laura. If we could have the slides, Pete, we do have an announcement slide. Since Jennifer, our program quality director, is unable to attend, I wanted to let you know about our Toastmasters Leadership Institute, which is happening Saturday, August the 14th. This will be a cutting edge, very unique event. We are using a product called GatherTown. And GatherTown, instead of just going to a Zoom meeting and staying there, GatherTown is a village. You come in on the link, you create your own little Bitmoji or avatar with your name, and then you go through this entire village where there will be all kinds of interesting things. You might go over to a room that says Club Officer Training. Bam, you're in a Zoom meeting. You come out of the Zoom meeting, you're back in the room in the village. There's a beach. There's going to be a DTM bar, perhaps a Pathways lounge, and quite a few other interesting surprises for you to attend. Now, it is an online event. It does cost $5. But I think you'll be very pleased when you can go into game rooms and play Sudoku, or some of the other options that we have available. Of course, we have our Toastmasters International Convention, which is the 24th to the 28th, where we'll be voting for the international officers and international director candidates. please sign over your club proxies to a member or to the district director. The top 3 interview all of the candidates and come up with what we believe are best choices. It may be a little different than what your experience would be in that regard. We also have our district council business meeting, September 16th. This will be our first business meeting, which will be virtual in the fall. Hopefully, which we are planning for, is an in-person district conference in the summer, late spring, early summer. We also have club officer training in full swing. We have had many people attend so far. We've changed how we're doing our training based on the feedback we've gotten. And I think it's really for the better. And I'm very grateful to our division directors, program quality directors, and trainers for doing an excellent job so far. That is all of the announcements I have. I'm looking to see if there's any questions in the chat. I do not see any. At this point, I would like to thank everyone for coming. Laura, do you have anything final?
No,
all right.
no, thank you.
I then announce that this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.